When we first start wearing wigs after a long bout of hair loss, we often gravitate toward styles that we're comfortable with, styles that mimic our bio hair. For me, that was the classic bob. And today I get to bring you a very beloved style. She's been around for a long time. This is Renau Haute. You can say it however you want, but it's a cute classic bob, and I have her in the color Midnight Cocoa. We're going to talk all about her and learn a little bit more about this color, inside and outside. My name is Denise. I'm also known as Hey Wigs Sister on Instagram and Facebook, and I am so grateful to be partnering with Name Brand Wigs to bring you this review and having the opportunity for the very first time to try this style. Name Brand Wigs is a really great online retailer. I have been a customer of theirs since the very beginning of my journey, almost 6 years ago. They do an awful lot to support this wig community, and they're really, really great at helping people find the hair that they're looking for. So if you're struggling, you can send them an email, support@namebrandwigs.com. Send them a picture of what you're looking for, and they can get back to you with some recommendations. I will make sure this piece is linked below, as well as a coupon code that will save you 30% on this style, on most of the brands that they carry. And in this case, that coupon code will make the price of this one under $200, which is great for a high quality lace front Renau wig. Let's take a look at this one from all sides. This is such a classic bob. You can see that she is kind of the, hugs the chin, but because this piece is made with heat-friendly fibers, you can take heat to this, and if you don't like it curved under, if you want it more straight down, you can use a hot comb, you can use a hot air brush, you can use a flat iron to make this one fit your face shape and your preference. You can also put curl in it with heat as well. Now, just a warning, heat-friendly fibers do not curl the same as human hair. So I would recommend you watch some videos to learn how to curl, because what sets the brand new style and the curl in a heat-friendly wig is the cooling process. So don't expect it to curl as easy as human hair, but some women have mastered curling heat-friendly fibers. So even though I haven't yet, I know that it can be done. One of the things I am most impressed about on this particular piece is the lace front. Let's just take a look at that. The reason I'm so impressed, there's the lace right there. Look at that lace front. The reason I am so impressed is you can't really see the knots. This is a really dark color, and often on dark brunettes you can see the knots on the lace front because knots on synthetic wigs can't be bleached. But they did such a phenomenal job of keeping those knots really tiny. Just such a realistic look. In addition to the lace front giving this incredible realism, the density. This is a lowish density piece. It does not have a ton of hair, really natural amount of hair, and no traditional permatease. I can feel straight down to cap everywhere that I touch. There is no poofy volume on the top. It really does just look like you took a round brush to your hair to get this curve under, but it's a really polished bob. Now we've got left side mono part. So that's the parting. It's on the left going over to the right. So that gives you an appearance of scalp. And then we've got that lace front that goes ear to ear, or kind of temple to temple. We've got soft ear tabs with bendable stays. There's not an extended nape on this one. We've got Velcro adjusters, and the rest is super stretchy open wefting. This cap is so lightweight. So many wigs these days have an extended nape, and there's absolutely benefits to having an extended nape on a wig, but because this doesn't, this cap is just super lightweight. This is not a lot of hair. It's not a heavy cap. It just really, for summer, if you're looking for, you know, a length like this, maybe you don't wear super short hair, I recommend looking for wigs that are lower density and do not have really any traditional permatease, because permatease can act like insulation. So this wig really checks a lot of boxes when it comes to being cool and lightweight. I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, it's not the lowest density wig I've ever had, but it is super lightweight. Just great, polished, professional style that really will fit almost any situation. One of the things I love about heat-friendly wigs is the fact that the fibers are fairly malleable. And so if you like to get a little lift in the front of your wigs versus having it kind of hang in your face, the more you play with this, the more you're going to be able to get lift in the front. And I have a video showing how to take a hot comb to get even more lift. So if you like a kind of more of a cow look in the front, you can just take a hot comb to this piece and work on getting a little more lift in the front. And that's one of the things I love about these fibers. But if you're not a big lift person, you can really play with this, and you can either, and again, a hot tool will help with that as well, but you can have it hug your face just a little bit more. Or if you're a bang wearer, you can cut bangs into this one. Sometimes with synthetic wigs, one of the challenges with cutting bangs in them is to have them lay really flat. So you can see this one would be really cute with bangs, but if you're struggling to get those bangs to lay flat, you can use a hot comb or another heat tool to really kind of flatten it out, maybe get a little curve under so that it will lay really naturally. So I think you're gonna have a lot of flexibility with this piece if you're looking for it. The only caution I can think to give you is that this really doesn't have a lot of volume. So if you like to get a lot of lift on the top, if you kind of zhuzh up your hair and you know, get in there and you get lift on the top because you're looking for more volume, while I can make it look like it has a little bit of volume by doing this, it's not going to hold because this doesn't have permatease to hold that type of volume. So as I wear it, as I walk around, the heat of my head is really going to flatten that out just a little bit. So if you're looking for something with a lot of volume, Jon Renau has some other bobs that are really cute. One of the ones I can think of is Kristen. I do have a review of Kristen and I can link it below, but that one has a fair amount of permatease up here. So I think you can get yourself a bob with volume if that's what you're looking for, but this one isn't going to have that. Jon Renau is a brand that is known for running really true to average. I actually have a video where I talk about wig fit and kind of cover a little bit about average versus petite and all of that. And I'll make sure that's linked below. I also have a blog post where I list what your measurements, what kind of average measurements are. I'll make sure that's linked below as well, but all of my measurements are also in the description box below, so you can compare my measurements to yours. And when I'm talking about measurements, I'm talking about my circumference, my front of my hairline to the back, ear over the top to the other ear. All of that's going to help you to learn what cap size is going to fit you best. I get a little bit of extra cap on the top of this one, not a ton, and I definitely have cinched this wig in a fair amount. The reason I'm wearing a wig grip with this wig is because it fits me a little big. That keeps it more secure on my head. As I'm touching it and playing with it and showing it to you, I don't have to worry about tugging it back and almost pulling it off my head. So that's the benefit of a wig grip. I find Jon Renau to fit me a little large and very comfortable, especially with a wig grip. I get really excellent coverage from Jon Renau wigs. That's where that ear tab falls. And when I say coverage, that means hiding my bio hair. So the further down that ear tab falls, the more it hides my bio hair. And so overall, I would say that if you have more true to average measurements, then this wig is going to fit you just fine, as will most of the Jon Renau brand wigs. We made it to color, Midnight Cocoa. The codes for this color are FS4/33/30A. I love it when codes are included because it can give you an idea of what colors are made up of the blend of that color name. So in the Jon Renau line of wigs, FS stands for Fashion Syrup. And basically that just means it's a fashion color with bold, chunky highlights. So we've got a base of a 4. That's the 4 in there. And a 4 is a dark, medium dark brown. So when you're thinking about the color codes for synthetic wigs, they're not the same for human hair. You've got between a 2 and a 12 are the brunette colors. A 1 or a 1B is soft black. A 2 is the darkest brown, then you go to 4, then you go to 6, and so on. So this has a base color of a 4, which is a dark brown. And then we've got bold, you can see them especially up here, bold auburn, dark and medium auburn highlights. Really bold in here. You can see all of those highlights. It's a beautiful dark auburn brown. And so one of the things to keep in mind if you're new to wig wearing, the more heavily highlighted a piece is, the more people might ask you where you get your hair done. So while I love these fashion colors, I, in the very beginning, started with more of just the kind of the basic dark browns. That way I didn't have to worry about anybody asking me questions. If you love this color, but you're a little worried about someone asking you questions, then just plan for your response. What will I say if someone comes up and says, oh my gosh, I love your hair color, where do you get it done? You can always tell someone you're wearing a wig, but if you're uncomfortable with that, the best course of action is to have a plan. You could say, oh, you know, I got it done out of town. You could say you've been practicing on your own hair if you really don't want to be stuck in a situation where you're having to say too much. Beautiful dark brown. When I first started wearing wigs, and my hair was a dark brown. I couldn't do the heavily highlighted pieces with like the blonde highlights because it felt too light for me. So if you can do reds, because this is a warm color, it's a warm brunette with those auburn tones, then this could be a great transition color for you into lighter colors if that's what you want to do. I would go with the darker highlighted, so this is more of a darker auburn highlight versus the blonde highlight, and then you can kind of inch your way up to the lighter colors if that's your goal. It may not be your goal, but that was certainly my goal, and so this was a great transitional color for me. Let's get outside so you can see this color outside. Don't forget, name brand wigs made this video possible, so give them a little love the next time you're in the market for a major name brand. Talk to you guys soon. Okay, here we are. This is where you're really going to be able to see the dynamic nature of this highlighted piece. Bright out here. Because this is heat friendly, it's not really shiny either. So if you're seeing any shine, the camera can pick up funny things, but if you're familiar with regular synthetic that can sometimes be shiny, it's really not going to be in this heat friendly. Just healthy. All right, there you go. Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.